Welcome back to Tossing the Pigskin on 103.4 DFW. I'm your host Isaac Zimmerman. I'm here with Ethan George, and Blake Price. Today we're going to be talking about the Big 12 and SEC and talking about the new conferences. First question is this a good move for Texas and Oklahoma to go to the SEC?
I mean, I don't think it's the best move for Texas and OU. There is a lot of chances to bring back rivalries, but I just don't feel like this is the right time. I think they should have done it sooner because the rivalries are what make the sport, will make college football the best. It makes it prime. It makes it popular. And we all know this Big 12 is going to bring in a lot of money for college football, and that's why sometimes it's better than the NFL. But I just feel like they should have done it sooner, and I'm salty about that. So.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with you on the fact that these rivalries are being revived. I mean, who doesn't love to see a Texas A&M Texas game every year? Oklahoma back playing against Missouri and Arkansas every single year. It's definitely a great expansion for the SEC and something that will help them across several different sports, especially football. I feel like it'll take a few years for teams like Texas and Oklahoma to adjust to the competition in the SEC. I feel like it'll take them a few years of rebuilding and just to get back to their states that they were in the Big 12 and to get back to contending. Obviously, there are the recruiting perks and prestiges that come with being in the SEC and being such a great conference that will help out Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree with you guys about the rivalries, but I think it's going to take a while for both of them to get settled. In the meantime, we have our first caller, Colin. So let's get to him. Hello, welcome to Tossing the Pigskin.
Hello, I'm Alex from Dallas, Texas. With OU and Texas going to the SEC, can we see some trouble with Bama and Auburn and Tennessee, or all the successful teams that were there before they were coming to the SEC?
Yeah, I think that we'll see some. That's what I was saying. Like they're gonna, it's definitely a step up from the Big 12. Big 12 has some good teams, but nothing like Bama and Georgia. So I think that we'll definitely see a step up from that, and I think that they're gonna take a few years to sort of get used to that. Oklahoma will be like a bowl eligible team, but I think Texas is gonna be like pretty bad, and I think that in a few years they'll both get back to what they are now.
I think it'll take longer than a few years because all these big schools are still have the fame. So when these other teams start getting the fame, it'll still just start showing that they have the fame, and more people want to go. And I think it'll take like 10 years.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with you guys, both of you. Texas and Oklahoma, like I said, it's going to take a little while, but as you asked, Alex, the teams like Auburn, teams like Alabama and Tennessee, it's obviously going to be tougher to win in the SEC with more teams, more talent in the conference. It's always raising the prestige. I do see Bama sticking around as one of the best teams in the conference, also Georgia, but I wouldn't be surprised if a team like Auburn or Tennessee falls below a bowl record and might have a few rough seasons along the way.
Yeah. So thank you, Alex, for calling in.
No problem.
And now we have my last question is, what does this mean for the Big 12 with their two biggest moneymakers leaving?
Well, I think with their two biggest moneymakers leaving, I think it at first it will lower their chances of making money, but then over time, I think it will be the best investment that the SEC will ever make. With all these new teams coming in, it's better because more people will want to root for them, and there's more teams to root for. So I think that's better and will bring in a lot more fans.
Well, I certainly agree with you. The Big 12, it's a make-or-break season with the 4 teams that are being added, bringing it up to 14, losing Texas and Oklahoma, bringing it back to the original 12. UCF, Cincinnati, a lot of these teams from the American Athletic, making the jump is going to be rough. It's going to be hard to go from group of 5 teams to Power 5 teams, but if they could have some sneaky good seasons in the Big 12, pick up some good recruiting classes, I can see each team that is joining fit right in just a few years. It's definitely going to be hard to rebound from the loss of Texas and Oklahoma, and I really don't think the Big 12 will ever be the same. But if they can gain teams like Colorado, and if these new acquisitions of Group of 5 schools will work out, I don't see the Big 12 going anywhere, and I still think it'll be a really good conference.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a good conference because we really got the best that the Group of 5 has to offer in Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, and BYU, who have all been good for a while now. One of them even making the playoffs a few years ago out of the AAC, and a few more, and one other having back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. So that has been Tossing the Pigskin. I'm your host Isaac with Ethan and Blake, and we'll see you next time.